Hello everybody, welcome to today's guided reading session. Now, one change we've made this week is that I have made all of the extracts that you're going to see on the screen here. I've made them available on a Word document which will be uploaded every day, and then you can annotate, you can print them off if you want and annotate them the way we would in class. However, it's no problem if you haven't got access to that, you can continue as you were. All right, so today we've got a bit of vocab Victor and then we're going to do a bit of predicting Pip. I'm going to read kind of a couple of pages first, pause, have a go at this, and then we can go on to Pip. All right, so we left off, Liam had been caught having nearly stole a Porsche. Okay, not your average Monday morning activity, eh? So next chapter is called My Planet Panda Pop. The school assembly incident was bad. The Porsche showroom incident was like being killed and sent back to level 1 with no spare lives. All we wanted, said Mum, was for you to learn some social skills. Social skills, said Dad. Well, let's see. He got a little girl to pose as his daughter and he persuaded a salesman to lend him a Porsche. He's got social skills. He's got too many social skills. We asked him to learn some and he learned too many. That's the problem. Turned out that Dad was right about visible friends being different from cyber friends. If someone doesn't turn up on Warcraft, you can always just recruit someone else. But when I walked through the New Strand shopping centre on Sunday mornings, even though there were thousands of people there, it was really noticeable that none of them was Florida. What we're going to do this next bit, guys, you can see, you're going to be able to see it on the screen. We're going to do a little bit of deep analysis and vocab. So you can be doing it while I'm talking if you want. I'm going to do it afterwards. Mum got really stressed about the whole thing. Liam, she kept saying, what are we going to do with you? Dad looked on the internet for self-help groups for people with unusual problems. About an hour later, he came back and said, what about this? Popular coastal resort, Tunisia, £150 a head. Tunisia's a bit far, said Mum. I was hoping there'd be a group in the library. No, I'm talking about a holiday. That's what we need, isn't it? The three of us. Go somewhere no one knows us. And just unwind. I was completely excited about this. I'd never been abroad before. I spent the whole week reading holiday brochures and even went with Mum and Dad to the travel agent, which was a disaster because when I get completely excited, I talk too much. For instance, when Tunisia was mentioned, I said, yes, 4-star accommodation, all meals, and we could go and see the Sahara Desert. So let's have a little look-see here. What we're going to do with the vocab Victor / deep analysis, I just want you to go through and annotate it the same way we would do normally in school. So for example, if I had something like, so Mum got really stressed, I might think, well, what's a synonym for stressed? I might have something like anxious or worried, something like that. Sorry, I paused there while I had a sneezing fit. So instead of anxious, instead of stressed, I might write something like she was anxious or worried, something like that. It might be that I know the word, but just thinking about alternatives might help me understand it a bit further. Self-help groups. Well, if we think about that, self-help, and if we break that down into the two parts of the meaning. So self means kind of you're solo or you, and help, is to support. So something that you would do yourself to support yourself. For people with unusual problems. What about this? Popular coastal resort. Now, coastal is one word I'm a bit uncertain about. I know, thinking about our geography, that the coast means kind of near the edge of a country. So I might do, I might draw a little sea and some sand there. So if it's a coastal, let me change it to yellow. If it was a coastal resort, perhaps that means that the resort, which is a bit like a hotel or something, is near the coast. Okay, so have a little go at that. Just annotating the page. Like I said, it's not necessarily words that are unfamiliar. It's kind of how you interpret that page, thinking about kind of alternative words, etc. And you've got some sentence starters at the bottom here to help you as well. Okay, pause me here. When you're ready, we'll move on with the book. Okay, right. So we've got... yes, 4-star accommodation, all meals, and we could go and see the Sahara Desert. Mum said, the Sahara Desert? You are joking. The Sahara Desert is a desert. People get lost in the deserts. They starve to death and see mirages and get eaten alive by ants. Oh, no, no, no. We're not going to a desert. The travel agent woman said, "If you did choose the optional desert excursion, Mrs. Digsby, you would be accompanied by our trained local staff in a fully air-conditioned coach. It's a very well-organised trip." "No one ever," said Mum, "intends to get eaten alive by ants, but accidents happen, especially in the Sahara Desert. What else have you got?" "Tenerife is already quite warm." Although it is politically part of Spain, the island of Tenerife is off the coast of Africa and is therefore hot all year round, especially in the south. It's more rainy in the north because of this big pointy mountain in the middle of the island. It's so tall that it has snow on top, even in summer. It's called Teide. Mum looked interested when I told her all of this. I probably should have stopped there and not gone on to mention that Teide isn't just an ordinary mountain. "A volcano?" said Mum. "An extinct volcano," said the woman from the travel agent, very quickly. "Extinct or dormant?" said Mum, surprising everyone with her unexpected geological knowledge. "What's the difference?" asked the travel agent lady. "The difference," said Mum, "between life and death." The travel agent held up a brochure for Florida. "Very popular," she smiled, without going into detail. Mum looked at me. I said nothing. She looked at the travel agent, who just kept smiling. She looked at Dad. He tried to keep smiling too, but she raised an eyebrow and he just can't cope with that. In the end, he admitted, "Alligators." After that, there was Turkey, earthquakes, Cyprus, poisonous triggerfish, Italy, the mafia, and Greece, shipwrecks. Then we were standing outside the shop with Mum taking a deep breath and saying, "Well, I haven't even gone anywhere and I'm glad to be home." They decided to forget about the holiday and redecorate the kitchen instead. Dad pointed out that a holiday only lasted a week or two, whereas a new kitchen would last forever. So instead of going on a well-organised, air-conditioned trip of the Sahara, we went to nothing but drainers and looked at granite work surfaces. "This one's a bit pricey," said the man, "but you get what you pay for, and this is real Italian granite." It was mostly blue. I remember looking at it thinking, that's igneous rock. That came from way underground in Italy. That drainer has had a more exciting life than I have. Dad said, "What do you think, Liam?" "Good. You can't go wrong with igneous. It is igneous, isn't it?" The man said, "I don't think so. These are new in today from our supplier in Turin." I said, "It's made of crystallised magma?" "No, son. This is real Italian granite. It's not made at all. It was made by magma bubbling up from the Earth's mantle millions of years ago. The molten magma cooled in the crust and turned into crystals, then probably sat being squeezed into flat beds for about 1 billion years until it was dug up by Italians. All that trouble, and then it's chopped up and sent to nothing but drainers, where my mum will look at it for 5 minutes and say, 'I'm not sure about this colour.'" The man looked at Dad. Dad just shrugged. He's in-gifted and talented. At school, they do all about this kind of thing. Last month it was global warming. Mum said, "He is right though. I'm not sure about this colour." Not only was I not allowed to go to Tunisia, I wasn't even allowed to walk home by myself anymore. Mum and Dad took to meeting me from school and escorted me home like a prisoner. They would have banned me from Little Stars too, except everyone had done so much work on the Big Friendly Giant that it wouldn't have been fair if it had to be cancelled. Lisa tried to be nice about it. "You're the star," she said, "so you get your own dressing room." Then she shoved me into this cupboardy thing just behind the stage. There was one chair, no window, a packet of pickled onion flavour Space Ranger crisps, and a blue Panda Pop. Space Rangers are the cheapest crisps that money can buy. They are crisps, but only until you put them in your mouth. The moment they make contact with your tongue, they stop being crisps and become soggies. The flavour is sort of optional, and then it seems to fall off the crisps and make a powdery sludge at the bottom of the bag, which you can scoop up with your finger if you like. Blue Panda Pops are supposedly raspberry flavoured, but the flavour is irrelevant as they are so fizzy that when you drink them, all your senses close down and your brain just shouts, "Fizzy!" Later on, you belch a lot, which is fine if you're playing the BFG, as he's quite a belchy character. I remember sitting in that cupboard, feeling like the rest of the world had completely vanished and that I was now orbiting the sun entirely on my own on a chair, Planet Panda Pop, sitting in a tiny enclosed space, eating strange chemicals. Turns out that Little Stars was outstanding training for astronauts. During the interval, I just messed about on Draxwell. At first I checked location of phone 1 so I could see where Dad was. He was in the audience. Then I looked at all the Waterloos in the world, trying to decide on a favourite. I was just tossing up between Waterloo, Sierra Leone and Waterloo, Trinidad and Tobago when the phone rang. It was a woman with a very friendly voice saying, "Hi, I'm calling on behalf of Drax Communications. We've noticed you have a very interesting pattern of use and we'd like to ask you a few questions if you have some minutes." I had about 2.5 minutes to the beginning of Act 2. "Can I just ask, have you actually been to any of the following places which appear in your recent searches? Waterloo, Sierra Leone? Nope. Waterloo, Siberia? Nope. Do you have any plans to visit these places in the near future?" "Yeah," I said, "all of them. I don't know how near the future is, though." "We also noticed that your recent searches include many theme parks and rides." "Oh, yeah, Alton Towers, Euro Disney, Six Flags Mountain. Pretty well all the theme parks in the world, in fact. What is it you like about theme parks?" "That crispy new world feeling you get after you've been on a thrill ride. I love that." "So you go on rides with your children?" She thought I was a grown-up and she couldn't even see me. I deepened my voice a bit and said, "That's right, yeah." "How old is your child?" 11. "Lovely, thank you. And one last thing, as a dad, how would you summarise your philosophy of child rearing?" "My what?" "What do you want most for your children?" Well, I don't remember thinking about it. I just came out with this. "I want my children to think of the whole world as their thrill ride." "Oh," said the woman, "what a beautiful thought." And I was thinking, yes, it is a lovely thought. I wonder where it came from. "Thank you, Mr. Digby, for talking to me. We'll be in touch very soon." She hung up. In World of Warcraft, when you defeat an enemy, you can take their stuff, their money, their armour, things like that. But sometimes it turns out they've got something you weren't expecting, like a magic ability or a bottle of elixir of the mages, and you can feel the extra power surge through you. That's how I felt at the end of that call. I knew something cosmic was going to happen. A few minutes later, Lisa knocked on the door, shouting, "BFG on stage, please." As we were walking up to the wings, I got a text. Lisa snarled, "Turn off your mobile, for goodness sake. In a second. In fact, give it to me." "Okay, yeah, whatever," I said with a giant smile. I was smiling because of the text. And we're going to pause there. Those of you with the physical copy of the book at home, close it now, because I'm going to get you to do some predicting. I want you to think about, what do you think that text is about? And can you justify your answer using what you know about Liam? You know Liam as a character now. You know what makes him tick, what makes him excited. You know what he's not interested in, okay? What kind of text would make him smile with a giant smile? What would make him so happy or excited? I've got a little sentence stem for you here. Maybe you can use it. Have a go at answering that question in as much detail as you can, and then tomorrow you're going to start off by kind of thinking and comparing some of those predictions. All right, have a lovely rest of the day, guys. Take it easy.